Hey guys, welcome in. I hope you all are doing all right. My name is Brianna, and this is going to be a really quick, energetic, astrological update for the next coming days. I am going to try to keep this reading fairly short because for whatever reason I'm feeling a bit disoriented today. So I did want to get a reading out for you guys because it's been about a week. So what I'm going to do is try to break this reading down into three sections. Where we've come from, so the energy over the last maybe 2 or 3 days, where we are right now, and what we're moving into in terms of collective ascension, right? I'll start with where we are right now. We have the moon in Capricorn. When the moon is in Capricorn, our progress, right? Our Capricorn energy is kind of slowed down. It's weighed down by the densities of the moon. The card that came out to clarify the moon in Capricorn is the Seven of Pentacles. So this is like slow moving progress. Something is growing, but it's like growing really slowly, or progress has been delayed. We're waiting for the seasons to change. We're waiting for the energy to shift, right? So when the moon is in Capricorn, I don't know if I've already mentioned this, our motivation, our desire to achieve and succeed, it's kind of like slowed down, weighed down by our moon energies. Capricorn traditionally talks about work and business and moving through a process or moving towards a goal in order to reach completion and receive those rewards and reap those results, right? Capricorn is the energy of manifestation, materialization, building things, constructing things. And I think I mentioned like big business, right? So right now in this energy, a project or something that you're working on, and or even just our journey, right? Our forward movement, it may feel like this, right? Stalled, delayed, slow moving, but there is growth occurring, right? We also have at the bottom of the deck the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is Saturn in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the archer in the tarot. Sagittarius rules the path, right? The spiritual path, our personal path, and how we walk it. So when Sagittarius, or when Saturn is in Sagittarius, the path is oppressed, restricted. There's limitations, right? There's obstacles. There's obstacles in the way. So within this energy, we can either push forward, push through obstacles. That would be working harder, right? This card also talks about hard work, heavy lifting, doing the work to clear the path. Or we can wait for circumstances and conditions to change, right? Because the Ten of Wands also talks about the change of seasons. The Ten of Wands is the last, it's a 10, right? So it talks about completion, and after the Ten of Wands, there's a new season. So we can either work harder, push through, force our way through this stagnation, whatever it is, right? It's just timing, right? It's timing. We can push through, or we can wait for circumstances to improve. That way we can move through this energy more seamlessly without interference, disruption, whatever this Ten of Wands is representing, right? We also have strength and the Ace of Swords here. Strength and the Ace of Swords. I feel like this is taming an instinct, right? Maybe an instinct to push through, taming the lower nature and waiting for some sort of breakthrough and opening, right? Even if it's just an opening in mental clarity. And after that, we have the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles talks about harmonious change, right? Harmonious material change. So I feel like this is like waiting for the right opportunity to move forward. Yeah. An opportunity is going, okay, an opportunity, the timing has to be right, right? In this energy, conditions aren't ripe for success and growth. So we're waiting, we're taming a desire, taming an instinct, or taming a automatic my words are not here right now. It's like an instinct to push, right? An instinct to charge ahead. We're taming this. We're waiting for a breakthrough, an opening, an energetic opening that's going to allow us to flow into some sort of material change quite easily and seamlessly, right? There may even be a need to pause for restoration, and we do have that energy here on the table. I started pulling tarot cards to clarify the moon in Capricorn, and these are the cards that came out, but I did pull some additional cards to clarify, like I said, where we've been and where we are going. And there is an energy here about sustaining, nourishing self, cleansing, right? While we wait, we're cleansing and we're preparing, because there is some sort of like abundance, an abundant journey, an abundant new chapter. Something abundant is coming in, but right now, and we also have that energy here, right? The Six of Cups and the Six of Wands. 6-6 talks about 6-6 talks about restoring internal harmony, internal peace, right? And preparing for the fulfillment of a divine contract. And that's what this is right here, right? Emotional rejuvenation, restoring emotional harmony and balance, and preparing for some sort of like victory and fulfillment, triumph. The cards are just like coming out like crazy. This card talks about that stable foundation so that we can move forward with a clean cup, right? Knight of Cups. Okay, where should I start? Okay, so just to clarify the moon in Capricorn, there may be this feeling of stagnation, right? You aren't imagining it. There is this stagnant energy. It's like the energy has been slowed down, and we can either push through, that would be working harder, right? Pushing through, exerting lots of energy, trying to get this task done, right? Maybe pushing our limits, maybe even, oh, there was something in my mind and I just lost it. Pushing your limits, wearing yourself down, weighing yourself down, overworking. So we can either do that, or we can wait, right? Wait for these conditions to shift, because there will be this opening. Okay, so that's where we are now. Let's talk about where we have been. In my last reading, I'm closing my eyes because I feel like my words are not here. I can't find the words to use in this reading. It could have a lot to do with this energy. maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this work right now, trying to push through. This could be a message for me as well, right? Maybe I'm not supposed to be trying to push through, but I feel like I haven't worked in like a week. It's been like 6 or 7 days, but my words are not here. So I'm closing my eyes to try to find the right words to describe what's here on the table. Give me a second, you guys. So let's talk about how. Okay, so in the collective was being called to embody the sense of internal peace, surrender, relaxation, and like going with the flow, right? Because in the last reading, there was an energetic current carrying the collective into a new dimension of consciousness, right? We were moving through across a threshold and entering a new level, a new reality, a new dimension. There was also a message about why this sense of internal peace, balance, and harmony was necessary, because there was a potential for this transition to get rocky, choppy, like a choppy transition. And I don't know about you guys, but the transition, it did get very volatile. It was like intense, right? Very intense. And I feel like it had a lot to do with the trine that occurred between the South Node and Chiron on Saturday. On Saturday, there was a 0-degree trine between the South Node in Virgo and Chiron in Taurus. And this trine created an opening for South Node energies, right? Let's remember that the South Node is linked to our past lives, right? It's our roots, our foundation, our history, our ancient history, where we've been. The South Node carries all of that information, right? All of that energy, which also includes our past life traumas, our past life karmas, our wounds, our fears, insecurities, right? So this opening was created for this energy, like this South Node energy to, I feel like it all came up at once. Lifetimes worth of trauma, karma, fear, lifetimes worth of South Node energies came up to communicate with Chiron. And Chiron is going to also be a representation of our soul's deepest wounds, right? It's like the wounded aspects of our psyche. Again, wounds that we carry with us as a soul, right? I'm going back to the betrayal of Jesus, right? Jesus came down as a pure being to teach compassion, forgiveness, and divine understanding. He came down, he took on earthly karma to show humans, or show humanity the way, right? And this karma that he took on, it resulted in a deep betrayal that scarred his soul, right? So this deep scarring is a Chiron wound that he and his descendants, or anyone who, I feel like we all share this wound, right? We all share the same wounds because oneness, collectiveness, right? I don't know what I'm trying to say here because, like I said, my words are not here. Basically, I guess that's just an example of the wounds that we carry with us throughout lifetimes, right? And we have access to each other's wounds through the Akashic library, because once we finish our incarnation, all of our data gets stored in the Akashic library, and whoever has access to this library, this history, these records can refer to history, right? For whatever reasons. They could use it to gather wisdom and resources, keys, or they can use it to feel what another soul has felt. Where am I going with this? Okay, so yeah, the South Node and Chiron. The South Node and Chiron. So there was this opening for all of this past life stuff to come up, and the way that this energy was experienced for each individual, it varies, right? It varies depending on spiritual rank, where you are personally, and what your soul needs at that specific timeline. So for some of us, it was like I said, like all of this past life stuff came up at once, and we had to process this big chunk of densities, big chunk of dense energies. For others of us, it wasn't as intense, right? I feel like, I take that back. The intensity was equal, but the amount, I feel like the bigger the level, the bigger the devil. The higher the level, the higher the devil. If you are an ascended master, in a sense, right, then you are designed to take on more damage, right? You can take on more damage because you are a natural alchemist, right? So you alchemize densities in your sleep. You alchemize densities just automatically, right? Auto alchemy as you move through your day to day. So some of us took on more damage than others because we are capable of doing so. Over the weekend, and even leading up to that, we were facing a bunch of like South Node stuff, alchemizing, reestablishing harmony and balance, creating this new emotional foundation so that we can move forward, right? That's where we've been. Now we are, I feel like, in this waiting period, right? Waiting for the seasons to change, waiting for the energy to shift, and we're not too far off from a shift, right? If we look at the cards here, we have, that's not how they came out. We had the 10 of Wands coming out with this card here. Work smarter or work harder. There's an option here. The work harder option would be just to push through, kind of like what I'm doing right now, even though the energy is like, it's like this, it's like jammed. The energy is jammed. So that would be work harder. Work smarter would be to sustain, hold steady, wait for a breakthrough, because the energy is preparing to shift, right? The Two of Pentacles talks about the miraculous expansion of applied efforts, responding to change with flexibility. It talks about material change, right? The Pentacles, material change. Things are changing. Reality is shifting. There's another card here. I think it's called Ebb and Flow. This deck is so big, it's probably going to take me forever to find that card. And quite honestly, I don't feel like looking for it. Let's see if we get lucky, if we can shuffle and the card comes out. Let's see if we get lucky. I feel like I don't have a neck for whatever reason. I feel like I don't have a neck. Like my neck is short or something. Maybe it's my hair. Yeah, it's my hair. There's my neck. Oh, I think I saw it. This one here. It's called ebb and flow. Ebb and flow, material change. So it's like, where's the other card? It's like waiting for cosmic energies to shift and open, right? Waiting for, what am I trying to say? Okay, it's like our efforts will be accounted for. There's no need to push. Instead of pushing and forcing, we just wait for an opening to occur. There were some other cards that came out here. We have defend, stand your ground, and the star, hope. Stand your ground, hope. And then we have unplug, take a break. Then we have the king and queen of water. King and queen of water and the money tree, abundance. These cards came out. So I feel like this defend card, stand your ground is also related to this wait card. Wait, or the Seven of Pentacles. Wait for the star. Wait for a cosmic opening, right? Wait for cosmic energies to open up. Wait for the signal. Wait for inspiration, right? In the meantime, unplug, because there's something, maybe something that you don't expect. King of water, queen of water, 10 of pentacles. Maybe something that you don't expect. We also have a message about a connection here. The lovers. I'll get to that. Hold on a second. Sorry, you guys, if this message is all over the place. I feel like it is all over the place. Hold on. Let me back it up just a little bit. Okay, so in the past, we were moving through like this big chunk of dense energy. I feel like it all came up at once so that we could close it out at once. Close it out. Yeah, make a decision. Okay, it all came up at once. Whatever it was that came up for you. I know we're all feeling it we're all feeling it on varying degrees or at varying degrees, but it all came up so that we could make a choice. We have court and whip. Whip talks about harsh conflict, right? This is that energy. The whip is that energy that came up. Court talks about decisions and choices. So it all came up so that we can make a choice, right? A choice about the book. This book is giving, like, closing a chapter, storing this book into the Akashic library of our soul's history, and move on into some sort of innocence, right? We've got the journey. Is that the journey? The Odyssey. The Odyssey talks about movement, progress, and transition. And we have the baby, good intentions. So move on with good intentions. good intentions is giving like a purified emotional foundation, right? So clearing a big chunk of karmic past life energy, making a choice so that we can move on into this new, we've got Rider and the Cross, this new assignment. The Cross talks about a spiritual assignment, a spiritual contract. The nodes recently changed signs, right? So as the nodes shifted signs, so did our karmic assignments, right? Our karmic work assignments are shifting. And the choice that we made leading up to this change of nodes is what is going to be on the other side of this, or it's the karmic assignment that we're moving into, right? We're moving into a new karmic assignment, and the karmic assignment is going to be based on what we chose, the choices that we made last week and this weekend. So you guys, the nodes changed signs yesterday, the true nodes, right? Not the mean nodes. So the south node moved, it like retrograded out of Virgo and into Leo. So the south node is in Leo right now. The north node retrograded out of Pisces and into Aquarius. So the north node is in Aquarius now, the south node is in Leo. So that closes a chapter, a karmic chapter of spiritual work, right? The last 18 months we've been working on this specific karmic assignment. Now that the nodes have changed signs, that chapter is closed. We've stored that book into the Akashic Library of our soul's history. We can refer to the wisdom, the experiences, but we are moving on into a new karmic assignment. So this new karmic assignment is going to have a lot to do. I'm going to make another video about the nodes shifting because I don't have like the mental capacity or the energy to do it right now, but the nodes shifting, South Node in Leo is going to be helping us retrieve our, God, I feel like this reading is all over the place. It's going to be helping us retrieve our Leo energy, right? Our confidence, our courage, our positive self-expression, our radiance, our magnetism, the frequencies, the energies that help us attract and cultivate wealth and abundance, right? Happy life, a happy life, a happy life. That energy is on the table. So we're going to be retrieving all of those things from the South Node. This is the new karmic assignment, right? So we've got the medallion here. So South Node in Leo, we're going to be working to retrieve this shiny solar plexus energy, right? It's something ancient, right? Something deep. Oh my goodness, give me the words. It feels like something, right? Something that is in the South Node, right? Ancient history. It's a part of your ancient history. You're going to be working to retrieve this medallion. The medallion is just your energy, right? So for the next 18 months, this is the assignment. Okay. That's the South Node. And then the North Node in Aquarius is this star energy, right? So we are retrieving our resources from the South Node so that we can embody and express and radiate and shine and share those energies, those resources with the collective, right? It's going to be our contribution to the group, right? Whatever these resources are, right? It's going to be completely different for each of us. So what you want to do is check your birth chart to see where you have Leo and Aquarius, right? Check your birth chart to see where you have Leo and Aquarius, as these areas of your life are going to be under a magnifying glass. It's our next work assignment, right? And whatever energies you have with Leo and Aquarius will either be helping you or hindering you. I'm getting something about the 10 of Pentacles. We have the money tree here, but this is different. The 10 of Pentacles is coming to mind, talking about how we're moving into this next assignment with all of the resources, expertise, and wisdom that we've accumulated from previous cycles, right? So retrieving this, whatever this is, you may have already done this in the past, right? You may have already retrieved this life force energy. We were working on that a few readings back. So if you've already done that, then what's up next for you is like this star energy, sharing it with the group, right? Okay, so I just want to quickly talk about what we have here. I have this little fortune cookie message from Panda Express. I got a lot of these, but this one just fell out. It says, being thankful will deliver good news this week. Being thankful will deliver good news this week. Being thankful. I want to replace the word thankful with something else, but I can't think of the word. Being something will deliver good news this week. Okay? We have the owl. The owl came out with news of wealth, right? This owl is associated with goddess Lakshmi. Goddess Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth, beauty, abundance, right? So this owl came out with news of good fortune. Good news. Being thankful will deliver good news this week. This owl came out with news of an approaching good fortune, or maybe we're moving into that because we do have the Pilgrim here. The Pilgrim talks about traveling, wandering, moving into a new adventure, moving into a new experience. And we did talk about that. I think we talked about that. Yes, with the cross. So we're moving into a new experience, a new karmic contract, a new karmic assignment. And I feel like it's going to be an abundant one. And one of my last readings, or my last short, I talked about how Leo season may be a season where money, resources, abundance, wealth, possessions that have been locked away in the South Node due to karma, trauma, fear, insecurity, those resources, that money, that abundance, that wealth is now returning during Leo season, right? So, again, if you've already retrieved this medallion, right? A lot of us have been working on reclaiming and integrating our truth, our authenticity, right? So if you've already done the work, move through the shadows to reclaim this medallion, then you're moving into an abundant new karmic contract where your resources, your money, your abundance, right? Money tree is coming in for you. You are moving into that. If you are still doing the work to reclaim this medallion, right? This is your vital life force energy. It's ancient and belongs to you. It's your radiance, your confidence, your positive self-expression, your authenticity, right? If you're still working to uncover and integrate this energy, then you'll have the next 18 months to do so. It may not take 18 months, but cosmic energies are working to help you reclaim this, right? And somewhere along that process, your money, your resources, and your abundance, something about beauty as well, that energy will come rushing in for you. It may have something to do with a relationship. I am seeing some sort of relationship here on the table. There's communication about a connection coming in. It's not looking like a romantic relationship. It could have something to do with friendship, loyalty, a loyal partnership. We've got communication, we've got the marriage card, and then we've got good gent. So this is like receiving news of a new partnership, a new contract from someone who is good, pure, and loyal, right? Spirit wants you to trust this. I feel like I'm dragging. Spirit wants you to trust this, right? We have trust fall. Don't seek it. Don't seek it. Just let it do what it does, right? We have the Lovers. This is that connection. We have the Fool. And then we have Success, which is the Six of Wands. We saw the Six of Wands somewhere, right? So there is a new connection forming. Someone may come in, they want to talk to you. They want to communicate something with you. This communication is going to initiate some sort of new journey. And whatever it is, it's successful, right? There's lots of money. There's lots of money involved, okay? Maybe that's what this is. Maybe that's what this is. King of Cups, Queen of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. This could be a business partnership. Someone wants to work with you. Whoever this person is or whoever these people are, they have been, it's like you guys made the same choices, right? When we were presented with that choice to, okay, going back to what I was talking about how that big chunk of like lifetimes worth of karmic energies, traumas, and densities came up for us during the weekend. Some of us were able to, it didn't feel good. I'll tell you that right now. It didn't feel good. I'm seeing like someone in like fetal position, afraid, sweating, like night sweats, fever sweats. It didn't feel good. It was painful, right? All of this trauma coming up from the past was painful. But some of us chose to, I'm seeing Christ, like this golden light coming down to cocoon this person in this fetal position. So this could be Ascended Master Jesus shielding you. This could be like angels, Christ filled angels shielding you. Maybe you prayed for protection, forgiveness. I'm hearing like forgiveness, forgive. So maybe you just forgave everything in that moment. Forgiveness is like just this sense of divine compassion and understanding, right? Maybe that was the key that helped you like dispel all of these densities, make this choice, and then quickly move out of that energy. So whoever these two people are, they made the same choice, right? They're pure. King and Queen of Cups, their cups are pure. They've cultivated new emotional foundations for themselves, and now there's some sort of reward that they get to cultivate together. This is something that they're going to be building together. Okay. So for others, right? So remember I said there was a crossroads, right? There was a choice this way or that way. Some made the choice to forgive, release, and move forward. But for others, there's still an opportunity to learn and grow from the past, right? For others, there's still an opportunity to graduate from past life, karma, and embody this sense of king of fire, right? Self-mastery. So, and then like come into union with self. We have the unification card here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. The unification card talks about coming into balance with self, making choices. It's the lovers, right? The lovers card talks about, okay, separation from oneness. Let me see if I can find the actual lovers in the tarot. It talks about being separated from oneness, right? To experience individuality. We experience individuality to make these choices, learn from our own experiences, make these choices that bring us back together with either ourself or our counterpart, right? So it starts with oneness, and then we're separated. And then on our separate journeys, we experience life as an individual, and we long for unification, right? We want to be together, but we can't come together until each of us have been purified, right? It's a process of purification. So we make these healing choices, and when we both reach this state of alignment, then we come back together in oneness, right? So if you are still learning from the past, right? Learning from past karma, learning to embody, achieve this sense of self-mastery, make these choices to close out leave some baggage behind. We have the coffin, a permanent ending, and baggage, a karmic past or unresolved past. So making these choices to close out the past, these choices are what's going to bring you together with a purified counterpart, where you guys can create, like, I'm getting like heaven on earth with this 10 of Pentacles, or maybe like a new family tree, a new legacy, right? Also keep in mind, you guys, that this connection, it doesn't have to be a romantic connection, because I'm not getting romance from this. I'm getting more like friendship, partnership, maybe even like business partnership, but not even that, right? It's more like loyalty, a loyal person, a good person. I guess we can wrap up now. Let's see if there's anything else. I'm not sure if I'm going to post this. If I do, hi. Hey guys, what's up? Nice to see you again. It's been like a week. I've got rich gent. Okay, what else? Letter again. So there's 2 letters of communication. Garden, which talks about a get together. Communication about a get together. This get together may be liberating you from some sort of prison. We have prison, which talks about constraints, oppression, trap, and then we have the ship. So this prison energy is giving the 7 of Pentacles, the stagnation, slow-moving process, slow-moving progress. Maybe it feels like a prison, it feels like you're trapped, but whatever this communication is, it's going to help you. Waves of abundance, inheritance, impressive movement, expansion, and momentum. Whatever this communication is, right? We had letter and garden. Communication about some sort of get together that's going to help you leave a prison, leave stagnation, and move into some sort of inheritance. If we're talking about these cards esoterically, then this communication is going to be your energetic signal, right? Your frequency, a harmonious frequency, a well-balanced frequency, a clean and pure frequency that you emit is going to get the tides turning, right? Remember we talked about waiting for a change of season. So the universe may be waiting for this purified signal, right? The signal of readiness, the signal of balance to bring in whatever this is or get the tides turning. Okay. So we've got severance at the bottom of the deck. Severance, the dagger. The dagger is a number 37, which breaks down to a 10. It talks about karmic endings. We do have a couple of cards of, because we are still in this energy currently, right? We are still in this energy, waiting for ripeness, waiting for the perfect moment. There are two messages here about cleansing, using this time wisely. We have the frog, right? The frog talks about knowing when it's time to leave. Okay, so the frog is born in the water, right? It's born in the water. It spends the first half of its life in this like cleansing, purifying energy, and then it goes to land. But the frog knows when it's time to go back to the water to cleanse and purify, right? So it's about using this time to cleanse and purify your energy. There's also, we have this sustainer here. I just wrote some messages on that card, so I don't want to pick it up and risk smudging the ink, but the sustainer talks about being at peace with the processes of life, right? Being at peace with these ebbs and flows, right? It also talks about doing the behind the scenes work. The sustainer talks about doing the behind the scenes work, tending to life's tasks. We did see unplug here. So in the meantime, before we move into whatever this new karmic assignment is, there's a message about unplugging, taking a step back, preparing, right? Being at peace, cultivating this sense of internal peace, because I'll just leave it here, right? The dagger, something is ending. Number 37, something is ending and something new is beginning. Okay, so I'm going to leave this message here, you guys. If you're still here, thank you for being here. I know this message was kind of all over the place. I hope that these messages, the messages that came through in this reading, do serve and support you on your journey. If so, please be sure to give the video a like and leave a comment. Even if the comment is just an emoji, right? Your interaction and engagement with these videos do let YouTube know that they are helpful and useful, and in turn that helps the channel grow. I will see you guys on the next video, okay? Bye, you guys.